There's an addiction that almost everyone has. It doesn't look dangerous. It doesn't destroy your life overnight. It doesn't make headlines. And most people will defend it as if it were a virtue. That addiction is comfort, not luxury, not pleasure. Comfort. The kind of comfort that slowly reshapes your decisions without you realizing it. Comfort tells you, stay where you are. Don't risk too much. You're doing fine. Why change anything? And at first, that voice sounds reasonable, responsible even. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Comfort is not neutral. Comfort has a price, and most people are paying it every single day without noticing. Not in dollars, but in missed opportunities, in delayed potential, in a life that becomes smaller than it could have been. Because comfort doesn't destroy your future dramatically. It slowly negotiates it away, one safe decision at a time, one postponed risk at a time, one maybe later at a time. Until one day you look around and realize that the life you built is stable, but not the one you once imagined. And the most surprising part? You probably made all the right decisions along the way. Most people think comfort appears later in life, after success, after stability, after financial security. But the truth is, the comfort trap starts much earlier. It begins the moment we learn how the system rewards behavior. As children, we are trained to seek stability, get good grades, follow instructions, avoid mistakes, choose safe paths. We're told these habits will protect our future, and in many ways, they do. But they also teach us something subtle, that avoiding discomfort is a sign of intelligence. So we begin to optimize for safety. We choose degrees that feel secure, careers that feel predictable, decisions that reduce uncertainty, and slowly, our lives begin to orbit around stability. Not growth, stability. But growth and comfort rarely exist in the same place. Growth requires friction, discomfort, uncertainty, the very things we were trained to avoid. And this creates a quiet paradox. The behaviors that make us responsible often make us resistant to transformation. One of the most powerful forms of comfort is financial stability. A steady paycheck, predictable income, incremental raises. At first, it feels like progress. Every promotion confirms that you're moving forward. Every raise feels like validation. And there's nothing inherently wrong with earning a salary. But here's where comfort quietly changes the equation. A stable income reduces urgency. When bills are paid and life feels manageable, the pressure to build something bigger fades. Your focus shifts from expansion to preservation. You begin protecting your current lifestyle, maintaining your reputation, avoiding unnecessary risks, because risk now threatens the comfort you've built. This is why many intelligent, hardworking people remain financially average, not because they lack discipline, not because they lack ambition, but because their comfort becomes something they must protect. And protection often replaces exploration. The problem is subtle. Your salary grows, but so does your dependency on it. Expenses rise, responsibilities increase, expectations expand, and slowly, the space for bold decisions shrinks, until the safest choice becomes to keep doing exactly what you're already doing. One of the hidden effects of comfort is psychological. It quietly lowers your tolerance for uncertainty. When life becomes stable, your brain begins to prioritize protection. You become more cautious, more analytical, more hesitant, and caution can be valuable. But excessive caution can also become a prison. Think about how many opportunities people dismiss because they feel too risky. Starting a business, investing in a new market, moving to a new city, changing industries, building something online, launching a creative project. At the beginning, these ideas feel uncomfortable, not because they're bad ideas, but because they disrupt stability. And the longer you stay comfortable, the harder it becomes to step outside of it. Comfort rewires your perception of risk. What once felt exciting now feels threatening. What once felt possible now feels unrealistic. And over time, your world becomes smaller, not physically, but psychologically. You stop asking, "What could I build?" and start asking, "What could go wrong?" Another hidden cost of comfort is intellectual. Comfort reduces curiosity. When survival pressure disappears, Many people stop exploring new possibilities. They stop questioning systems. They stop experimenting with new ideas. They stop learning skills outside their immediate profession. Because exploration requires effort, energy, uncertainty, and comfort encourages efficiency. Do what works. Repeat what's familiar. Stick to what you know. But the world changes faster than comfort allows. Industries evolve. Technologies shift. Entire economic landscapes transform. Those who remain curious adapt. Those who remain comfortable fall behind. The difference isn't intelligence. It's exposure to discomfort. Curiosity often begins where comfort ends. Comfort has another powerful trick. It convinces you that change can always happen later. Later you'll start the business. Later you'll invest seriously. Later you'll build something of your own. Later you'll take that risk. But later is one of the most dangerous words in the human vocabulary, because later quietly becomes never. Responsibilities grow. Time becomes more scarce. Fear becomes stronger. And the cost of disruption increases. The job becomes harder to leave. The lifestyle becomes harder to change. The expectations become harder to break. And suddenly, the window that once felt wide open feels very narrow. Not because the opportunity disappeared, but because comfort became too expensive to abandon. Comfort feels safe, but safety has a hidden cost. It limits your exposure to possibility. It narrows your decisions. It delays your growth. And most importantly, it slowly redefines what you believe is possible for yourself. People rarely regret working too hard in pursuit of something meaningful. But many regret the opportunities they never explored, the risks they never tested, the ideas they never built. Comfort doesn't ruin your life. It simply convinces you to accept less than you're capable of. And that's why the most dangerous place in life is not failure. It's comfortable stagnation. The goal is not to eliminate comfort completely. That's unrealistic. The goal is to recognize when comfort becomes a cage. When it begins to limit your imagination. When it begins to shrink your ambitions. When it begins to quietly negotiate your potential downward. Because the truth is simple. Growth rarely happens where comfort lives. It happens at the edge of uncertainty. Where outcomes are not guaranteed. Where effort is required. Where courage matters. And the question is not whether comfort will appear in your life. It always will. The question is, will you let comfort define your decisions? Or will you use discomfort as a signal that you're moving towards something bigger?